allow the two children to handle the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind. Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego diary politico, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This man not the off in mind, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Aha, now you not done here, oh. All these bad politicians, then we call themselves politicians. Where they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting supposed get for this country. Una never hear something. Now go hear one, my ego. You go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we laugh, oh yo yo.
Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. And also remember that after reading the caption of the broadcast, try and read the description as well. Okay. I mean, go through it. Then like the broadcast, like the video, share it to invite your friends, your not so friendly friends, and everybody who seems to be interested in the political happenings in the contraption Nigeria. They can join us. Tell them Mayegu is live and just leave the rest. And if you have done any of that, thank you. You know, they are getting ready to start bombarding us with their different realistic and unrealizable or unrealistic promises. But it seems that now that the INEC has kind of like lifted ban on political campaigns. So you are beginning to hear the snippets of what the opposition are probably going to be offering you in 2023, right? All of them, according to how some of them have kind of like agreed, right? All of them accepted or planned to remove the fuel subsidy. However, Kolu came and just dropped it on the day one that the subsidy was gone with no plan whatsoever to cushion the aftermath effects. At a point, they started sharing rice. They thought that was. Then they said, oh, yeah, they use part of the money for NEL fund and other nonsense they have put out. Okay. So then at a point, they became so very confident, like kind of like overconfident, right? That Nigerians are now used, okay, to this hardship because they convinced themselves that they have convinced Nigerians that whatever it is that they are going through right now due to Tinubu's reform is just going to be temporary. If they die, not benefiting from it, they shouldn't worry. Tinubu is building the future. So they believed that they've convinced Nigerians. So they became very confident, yeah, that they will say it boldly, that anybody who wants to kind of change what Tinubu is doing should be bold enough to say it loud. For example, go and tell Nigerians that you want to return a subsidy, kind of. Then Atiku took it upon himself, right, to challenge them and say, yeah, he's going to return the subsidy. Since that time, like the Yorubas would say, the reactions that has been following from Tinubu's camp has been a little bit heavy. I mean, last night, Kolu had to call the APC governors, number one, to get their reassurance that they are all going to deliver their states in 2027. And at the same time, 3 years after subsidy is gone, statements, they're now looking into how to reduce the cost of transportation in Nigeria. Guess what? It's also giving it to the state governors. You know, one of the things that their argument towards the 2027, which is kind of becoming very interesting, right? One of the things that they have accused Tinubu of doing, whenever he brags himself of doing what other presidents have never done, people have done it, only for that the aftermath forced them to return it, okay? So Tinubu and his gang will say the money is because they removed subsidy. That is why they are now giving more money to the states, which is technically not true, but argumentative, right? So they say state governors now get more money. So instead of you holding Tinubu to account of what he is doing with your saved subsidy money, right? Go and ask your state governors. Now, they want to talk about how to reduce the cost of transportation because somebody says it's coming back to return the subsidy. And don't get it wrong, here you get. Somehow, it has become the talking point that even Tinubu's gang are going on TV to try to rubbish it. And, like, don't worry, it's just going to be like they want to start paying themselves again, the blood, trying to kind of rubbish it, but it refuses to go away. So yesterday, Atiku could drop another one. This time, he's currently pursuing the Tinubu's criminal record in America, right? That one is still ongoing. So according to Atiku, the Supreme Court judgment that cleared Tinubu only cleared him it's called a pre-election matter, that all of that should have been decided before the election. That is why the Supreme Court did not use Tinubu's criminal record, forfeiture of money, and all that stuff. So here, Atiku is still very much in court trying to use that pre-election so that before the election, they will get a court to decide or something, right? So Atiku said he's got an evidence that Tinubu is over 90. Yeah, he was talking about his own policies, and then when people were asking, the lady asked him that you are old, you are almost the oldest, and he was like, no, I'm not as old as Tinubu. Tinubu is kind of 90. So let's start from where it all kind of like began, right? Which was the 29th of May 2023, when after grab it, snatch it, and make a run with it, right? That Tinubu finally kind of like achieved. So he became your sworn-in president, and then he made this announcement, remember?
No provision is there for fuel subsidy. The first subsidy is gone. Subsidy can no longer justify an ever increasing cost in the wake of dry resources. We shall instead channel whatever to form no provision.
So that was a statement, right? Over 3 years ago now, okay? So when they now asked them, hey, come, Nigeria has borrowed more money than what, I mean, in 3 years, than what they borrowed in 10, 15 years, like all the Nigerians debt all combined before Tinubu. So what happened to the, I mean, Nigerians are also paying more for gas, which is the petrol and all that. So what did you do with the money? Then they quickly said, oh, NEL fund. NEL fund is a loan, right? It is not like free education that they will say, oh, more than 10 million Nigerians in the higher institutions are benefiting from the free education. You get that now? It is not even that, it's actually a loan and every other thing that comes with it. So how much did you say you saved from the same subsidy, and how much have you borrowed? So they just don't match. So now Atiku, who is proposing the return of subsidy, is saying, right, that his own subsidy return is not going to be to pay marketers money. You know, under Tinubu right now, subsidy, they are still paying subsidy. They gave it a different name, even though Nigerians are even paying more for the same products, despite the fact that their government claim not to be paying subsidy. But those who are importing fuel into Nigeria, in fact, Nigeria imports more fuel under Tinubu now than all the other past presidents combined. Do you understand? Like in 3 years, Nigeria has imported more fuel, and they call this subsidy it gives to them, they call it energy security fund. Yeah, something like that. Energy security fund running into billions of dollars, which means they are subsidizing the dollars they are paying to bring in this fuel. So Atiku is now tapping into that to say, oh yeah, their own plan to remove a subsidy at the time was because they wanted to invest in the refineries, reduce the importation in a way so that they can phase out the subsidy payments, something that Tinubu probably had no real plan for. 3 years down the line, right? So Kalu called the state governors last night, just after that statement of Atiku 2 days ago, right? That yes, he's going to return it. But what he wants to do is to give a subsidy to the local refiners like Dangote. And that's kind of an idea that some people felt like should have been probably used by the Tinubu's regime. Mind you, before Tinubu, under Bukwari, they had this arrangement where the local refiners, or those local refineries, right, they will purchase the Nigerian crude oil in Naira 2 ways. So it can help them strengthen the Naira according to them. Possibly also reduce the cost of, what do you call it? The cost of the petroleum at the local, in the country, put it that way. But all of that arrangements have become almost like, you know, no clear way, so to say, because the cabals within the NNPC, which is now controlled by Tinubu, right, they are making their blood money in that sense, right, through the importation of finished product into Nigeria. So what can they do? I remember 2 years ago when they were all shouting CNG, CNG, go and convert your car to CNG, only for Nigerians to now realize that some of them have been trapped into it. One, what do you call that thing? Is it packaging of your, the same gas you're going to need to run your CNG car? It's almost equivalent to the same liter of petrol, per liter, what do you call it, of petrol. So it's almost like a rip-off. That's at today, even the government that introduced it could barely proud of, brag of implementing 1 or 2% of it. So suddenly they want that back. And again, like he took the subsidy off and gave it to governors, according to him, he's asking the state governors to go and probably develop an idea of how to reduce the cost of transportation 4 months to election. That is one, right?
We had an audience with the president, and we spoke basically on 2 issues. One, politics, and the other, governance. Governance, which took most of the time, is about how to make reduce the cost of living in Nigeria, is the cost of transportation, food security, agriculture, bring prosperity to the people, ensure that the dividends of the various reforms we have gotten over years trickles down to the people. Second to it is the politics, the upcoming election, the constitution of the Presidential Election Council, which the President informed us officially, and we are in total agreement. What we have agreed with Mr. President is that he will be delivered. All the APC governors are solidly behind Mr. President. To that extent, governors are expected to deliver their states, or that one of us are in total agreement, and we are united. We are supporting Mr. President's re-election. We are supporting the success of the election.
The president discussed at length about gas utilization, especially in the area of CNG, and that Mr. President has committed a lot of resources, when it comes to exactly how much, it is going to invest when it comes to gas utilization in the country. So those are the type of things that Mr. President has discussed in detail.
So they have to deliver him, all of the 31 state governors. That is so important. Then what can we do to counter this idea of Nigerians paying far less for petrol, which many believes will affect everything else? Inflation can actually really drop if your government, even Tinubu's regime, can subsidize your crude production and refining your crude. Why can't they do it? It is Nigerian's crude oil, Abi. So why not just give it to, even make a deal with Dangote, whereby it can get the supply of the crude oil at quarter of the price. It takes its own profit, and the one sold in Nigeria is fully subsidized from production level, not when it is imported or something. You don't pay anybody. You just supply the crude. And it can change everything, but that will likely not make them become multi-billionaires, because that's the target of some of them. It is an opportunity. It is their turn to become multi-billionaires with no real invention. So how are they going to deal with it if I know other factors are still very much in play? But if Tinubu and his gang, when election is probably, the campaign is probably yet to kick off fully, right? They are all putting together their manifesto. So Tinubu right now will have to be defending what he is already doing, while others can easily just punch them and say, you know what, I'm going to reverse everything. That is what politics is. You know what I mean? You can see, okay, this policies is kind of not bad, right? Maybe we should. adjust it, okay, and make it better. But this and that, we are scrapping them. That is what these contenders should be telling you. And that is why I kind of like Shore in that sense. He is the one that will pick them, trash them, and tell you, I'm not doing anything with that. I'm scraping it. Scrapping, yeah. But now that Atiku, which somehow is also a contender, I mean, all things being equal, except anything changes per se, with the plan of Tinubu and his gang, right? Atiku can only be just a mere threat, like Obi in that sense, right? But hey, do you think if you have a real free, fair election in a sense, right? Do you think the idea of Nigerians paying less than 500 naira, less than 500 naira per liter of petroleum and every other product like that, do you think that's not going to be really appealing? I mean, Tinubu's regime is going to keep telling Nigerians that whatever they are going through right now is fine. Whatever Obi or Atiku or any other person is promising them, they are just promises. They are just campaign promises. Nobody should believe them. They should feel comfortable in this hardship. They should feel comfortable in this insecurity. They should accept what they have because it's still going to get better. That's what Tinubu and his gang will be telling you. And in that process, right, they'll begin to make adjustments to what the reforms they told you. There's nothing they're going to do about it. People just have to see it through. If you die, you die. If you survive, you survive. So it's not going to change it. That's the way he's been answering questions from people all this while. There's nothing we can do about it. The reform has to continue. Now they'll begin to make adjustments. If you were to have a free and fair election, they say, right? Now listen to Atiku talking about your borders, as well as the seaports in the eastern part of Nigeria, in the Niger Delta part of Nigeria, why government after government continues to ensure that those areas never get the attention of government. They never get developed simply because of the central one in Lagos. So when he becomes your president, right, he says he will focus on that eastern part block. And those are kind of like bullet points in election. Somebody who wants to lead a country, right? Take for instance, Atiku is from the north, right? Obi is from the east, the south. Obi kept talking about how he's going to turn the desert of northern Nigeria, all those lands, he's going to turn them into big, massive agricultural production lines and all that. Yeah? So those are kind of the talking points that appeals to normal people. Well, it's just that you practically don't have a lot of normal people in that Nigeria, right? Even the guy talking, right? Yeah.
The northern states is bordering about Cameroon, Chad, Niger, yes, Benin Republic. And you close all those borders. All our young men who are doing trading in between these countries, they carry goods here across, they do this, and all the, what we call trans-border trade is a legitimate business. All the upcoming young men and women who used to have a capital of 10 million, 20 million, and they were employing 2-3 other people, and then all of them went bankrupt and unemployed. How can there be security? So I said, I'm going to reopen the borders, and I will. During the last campaign, I went across to Europe to discuss with shippers and ship development companies, how can we together develop south and southeastern ports so that there is balance as far as importation of goods and transportation of goods are concerned. So I am very much with you. Perhaps I am even more committed than you. I don't know whether you have a factory. Maybe what you have, you buy and sell. Me, me, I have a factory that I produce. And it is in Adamawa. and I'm on the northeastern side of the country. So if I drop my container in Calabar or in Uyo or in Port Harcourt, it will just take me 24 hours to take the container to Yola. But right now, it takes me not less than 2 months to take my container from Lagos, because you have to cross over. From southwest, you go to northeast, and then there is even no road. So we are on the same page as far as that request is concerned.
See, the difference, right, is that he's a veteran. He's been contesting elections for the past 30 years. So it's been for a long time, since 1993. Yeah, he's been running. So, and he's been a vice president of the country too. And a lot of people just believe that he is not trustworthy. You can't just trust Atiku. For some reason, they can't trust him. Okay? And he never releases. But listen to that. Those are kind of like election talking points. They are key things that basically like affect millions of people in that regard, right? So if you speak to them, there are people that can easily connect and say, oh, yeah. But the difference is that if Tinubu speaks to the same issue, you can't really believe in. Why? Because he is your president now. Imagine Tinubu talking about, once I come back, we are going to develop all these, Eastern Bloc seaports. We're going to do this, that stuff, right? Begin to promise you. Be like, what are you talking about, man? You can easily just pick up your phone right now by a directive, right? And everything in that area will begin to take shape. Everything. So why should people wait till when you come back? Yeah, they do send the freights. They call them freights or something. They send them to the eastern part of Nigeria, but to actually create the economy around this issue of importation, exportation, creating jobs and other stuff around it is politically kind of like prevented, sort of. You know what I mean? Like classified, as Dr. Agbede would say. So Atiku, speaking to the BBC Hausa, which partly also interacted in English language, right, had this to say when his age was also put to question, right?
I have a president who is 90 years old now and who is sick. And I am healthy, I am strong. So why would I not make my services available to my fellow countrymen?
Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the president is not yet 90 and we cannot confirm nor deny anything about his age.
I have evidence record that he is.
So
I will present it in court.
Let's speak about your presidency, your possible presidency. You have contested so many times. Many Nigerians keep asking, why is Atiku Abubakar not tired? Why do you think you are the best?
On the ballot 2 times. Or 3 times, let's say. Let me give you my political history. I ran for governor 4 times. Because at that position, the people who were in charge of our transition to democracy were military. And I was so anti-military that anytime I won, they will disqualify me. Anytime I won, they will disqualify me. And the last was when there was even an attempt on my life and I went into exile. So I've never found anything easy in my life. There is nothing new there. So because I'm contesting the presidency 2 or 3 times, I mean, that's not anything unusual in my life, in my political life.
Why do you think you are the best?
Why should you caution me on my right? It is my constitutional right. I am strong. I am healthy. I am agile. Why do you bother about my constitutional rights?
You are contesting for the 2nd or 3rd time, as you mentioned. So your insistence, right? Nigerians want to know, why do you think that you are the best for them?
Because things are not going right. Things are not going right.
What is special about Atiku Abubakar? Why are you the best person to become president of Nigeria?
I have the experience, I have the competence, I have the patriotism. So why would I not make all this available to the service of my country?
If you do become president of Nigeria, what measures would you take to tackle the ongoing insecurity in the country, which is one of the biggest issues, especially in northern Nigeria?
Well, I believe it is the responsibility of government because they have not paid attention to our defense needs. I don't believe so. One, the defense is under manned. In other words, we have not have enough boots on ground in this country. They're not good equipment. I remember when we were in office, I told the president that, look, we are over 200 million people, and yet we have less than 200,000 policemen. Egypt, that has about 80 million, had 1 million policemen on the streets, and therefore there is peace there.
If you become president, how soon should Nigerians expect to see changes in that sector?
I believe within 1 year they should be able to see that. And believe me, within 1 year, we can control this insurgency and insecurity that is all over.
Mm-hmm. But they just won't tell you how, or even give you a kind of a description of how or what they're going to do differently. I usually would expect the people, anybody who wants to be president of that contraption, I would expect them to be bold enough. Number one, knowing what they are actually getting themselves involved in, right? So they should be bold enough to look you straight in the eyes like I am doing right now and tell you that, hey, if I become your president, I am going to return subsidy, but this is how I'm going to do it. If I become your president, right, I am going to end the terrorism, and this is how I'm going to do it. First, I'm going to go after the financiers. I mean, speak like that, not trying to want to offend people, step on toes, and then at the end of the day, you are hoping that once you have the power, then you can then do whatever you have in mind. That is not leadership, is it? No. So Atiku believes that it is his constitutional right to run for president of Nigeria as many times as possible until he becomes it or becomes your president. Okay. So meanwhile, on the other side, where Kalu continue to remind everybody that, yeah, things are really bad, but you can't put the whole blame on Bukwari. Remember when he said is Bukwari and Bukwari is in? That was a few weeks back, yeah?
The truth is, I took over for myself. The late Buhari is me. He was a partner. And if I took over from him, is that not from myself?
And that is why Tinubu continued from where Buhari stopped, just the same way he promised. So you just need to take a look at the pattern. When Buhari came in, that was when the Fulani terrorists went mainstream. That's when they became the national conversation. And at the same time, they also became the national sort of like responsibility, our responsibilities. So what should we do? The government of Nigeria designed a template first. They made us realize that these terrorists, they were not Nigerians. So then how did they enter Nigeria? How did somebody from Chad, Niger, got to Ekiti to go and kidnap and kill people on their farms in Ekiti? So that was the argument a few years back, right? Until they changed it and said we should stop calling them Fulani terrorists, that rather they should be called bandits. Okay, that's also criminal, isn't it? So what are you doing about these bandits? What are you going to do about them? So the government at the center started the program to reintegrate these bandits. That was the beginning. First, they said grazing routes. The next, they said cattle colony. At the end, they came up with something called the Ruga. None of these could be implemented despite people's lives that were taken and all this while, right? And these terrorists, they grew in leaps and in bounds to the point that kidnapping industry in Nigeria became a multi-billion dollars industry. It's not just the citizens that are paying ransoms, even state governments, local chiefs, and others, communities are putting together ransoms to buy peace or free their loved ones. APC, Egbekegbe, normalized it. From nowhere, we started hearing repentant terrorists reintegrated into the system. This is how APC socially conditioned Nigerians to the state you have today. That, well, some are praying that Nigeria should not fight a civil war, because if Nigeria should by any means slide into a civil war, Nigeria is not going to come back from that, because you have more groups, different groups with different, kind of like authorization, so to say, because, yeah, the Fulani terrorists and the collusion with the people in government made a lot of people to push the idea of a self-defense. Self-defense, if these guys can't defend you, defend yourselves, because if anything should go wrong, the government will never take responsibility, and those who did that would never be caught. They will never be held responsible. So the man that we now believe is probably Nostradamus of our own time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, started screaming at the top of his lungs, screaming. But rather than the reasonable people who are in government, if there is any, because unfortunately there was none, right? Instead of the reasonable people, humans in government, to look into all these alarms, all of this information, rather they did everything to try to silence him, right? You know the story. They abducted him, they put up a kangaroo court process, and then they jailed him, while the terrorists that prompted him to act in safety, in defense of his own people, due to the failure of those who are saddled with the responsibility of protecting all of us. So after their failure, Nnamdi Kanu rose. And he wasn't just doing it for his own people, he was doing it for Nigeria. Until people started going back to his clips after those in government have expended. Not only that they had him kidnapped and then locked up, they had thousands of other people, right, by association, locked up without a trial all over the country. Because guess those who are moving freely, unhindered, the Fulani terrorists. They got to Yoruba land. We had our own Sunday Igboho, who almost lost his own life too. He's screaming and shouting and calling for the defense of Yoruba land. You know how that played out? Yeah, things have changed now. He's now on the other side. So what did Tinubu change? Nothing. They just continued from where Bukwari stopped. They still have Operation Safe Corridor. They are doing graduation for terrorists because they are repentant terrorists. How did they repent? By holding the Quran and say, we will never do this again. That's it. All the killings, all the abduction, all the destructions, right? Gone, forgiven by the criminals in government who are also using Nigeria's money to fund the rehabilitation of these murderers called terrorists. They are still doing it. Operation Safe Corridor. Not only that, Bukwari did not achieve cattle colony. He didn't achieve grazing routes. He did not build ranches. He did not achieve his Ruga. None of this was achieved under Bukwari, despite all the efforts. He couldn't achieve his waterway bills, where he was planning to cede Nigerian waterways to the terrorists as a way of placating them, so that they will stop killing us. Yeah, your land or your life, remember? So Tinubu came. Not only did he continue from where Bukwari stopped, he created a whole ministry for them. He gave them a minister. Why? Because they told him that's how they are going to stop the killings. That's how the whole kidnappings will stop. But more people have been killed in 3 years under Tinubu than they killed in 80 years under Bukwari. Think about that. Areas that usually never witnessed this sort of a violence, kidnappings, and destruction throughout the 8 years of Bukwari, they've all witnessed it now. Yeah? You've seen what happened in Kwara, you've seen what happened in Oyo, you've seen what happened in Ondo, you've seen what happened in Ekiti, even in Ogun State. Areas where people used to be like, they will never get to this place if they tried, Now they have gotten to those places. Nnamdi Kanu is still locked up because, yeah, he is too harsh. He is inciting the people against the government. They proscribed the IPOB. The West African courts said that was illegal. The UK court said that was illegal. You can't proscribe them. They bribed people in their lobbyists in America. They also didn't prevail. But in the book of the APC, that is giving money to terrorists, rehabilitating them, doing peace meetings with them, while Nigerians continue to be kidnapped and maso killed. And maso, in their book, IPOB is a terrorist organization. So the ESN that is going after the Fulani terrorists ended up not fighting with they are not fighting with the Fulani terrorists. Rather, they are now being hunted by their own supposed governors. This is the story of Nigeria. But everybody believes that the Nigerian government, so maybe due to their corruption or compromise or whatever, they have become overwhelmed with all of this. Nigerians are just being killed like they are just mere games, like in the game reserve. Is that normal? Oh, we have created in Yoruba land, for example, we created Amotekun. Amotekun was supposed to be the local vigilantes. They have similar things in northern part of Nigeria. Just so you know, they call them the civilian JTF, Joint Task Force. When they got to the eastern part of Nigeria, because they don't want to put guns in the hand of an average Igbo man or woman in that sense, right? So they created a Bubeagu. Rather than go after the Fulani terrorists, they are going after the Eastern Security Network. Why states like Ebonyi, Enugu, especially those border towns, continue to suffer casualties of kidnapping and killings in the hands of these Fulani terrorists. Still, show you guys. So in Yoruba land, we now have Iruekun, which is now created by Sunday Igboho. Has been going about, according to him, he's got the federal government approval to set up a private security outfit that could help, you know what I mean, to supplement the work of the security agents. So something that you can easily call their own JTF. So therefore, you're going to be seeing the recruited Iruekun security officers, right? They will be working hand in hand with the Nigerian police, Nigerian army, and the rest, right? To do what? To go after the Fulani terrorists and every other terrorist that works at the land of the Yorubas. Sounds great, yeah? But that has also triggered the conversation around the justice or the injustice behind the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. What was he asking for? Right? That his people should be allowed to protect themselves, protect their lands, and must not be forced to practice the religion that is never theirs, like they were propagating. Simple. Protect your own space. Defend your own land. Do not let your own loved ones, your moms, your dads, you know what I mean? You don't let your own, your loved ones to end up as sex slaves for these Marauders. Simple. While others are saying, well, politically, pre-election, you might end up having to see these recruited Iruekun members who are going to be working for the APC. And their job is just basically to ensure that any opposition spotted at any polling unit or whatever, right, they are completely removed. So, like I said, conversations, concerns, and others are springing up. This was in Ogun State, where it is reported that Igbo launched his Iruekun security outfit in Ogun State.
Then, discipline. Yes, if we can't come out, I don't want to train me. Federal committee, my young Thomas, wọ́n training gómìnà sọ fún tó máa kó wa sí wọ́n sì training yẹn tó bá ti ń parí training yẹn ní local government wọ́n mọ̀ fún kálukú ní id card díẹ̀ gómìnà ọdẹ ẹ̀sìn fún wa wọ́n fún wa ní báyìí wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ sọ tó máa fún wa lóṣooṣù tí wọ́n mọ̀ fi support wa tọ́ra níyàwó alọ́mọ. èmi ò wá ní fẹ́ kọjá pé torí bá ti ní id card rẹ kò jọba fún wa táwọn ọmọ gbẹ̀yàwó yàwó káwọn lọ dàdúgbò rú. torí pé ìkẹta dálẹ̀ yìí tá a bá ṣe dáadáa àwọn civil defence kúmọ ọjà náà tó máa ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ gúgúrú defence la máa ń pè wọ́n ìgbà tó ń ṣe dáadáa tó mọ tó ń ṣe. lóbi láì federal wọ́n ti wá gbogbo nàìjíríà ń ṣe tá a bá ṣe dáadáa àti ní àwọn ọmọ ní dẹ́ta àníwọ̀lẹ́dọ́ àwọn tí orí omi gbogbo náà wà ń bíbà.
I want to be your star. This is the way I wanted to be. This is the way I wanted to be. Hey, I want to be your star. Hey, I want to be your star. Hey, I want to be your star. This is the way I wanted to be. This is the way I wanted to be. This is the way I wanted to be. Hey, I want to be rebel. Hey, I want to be rebel. This is the way I wanted to be. This is the way I wanted to be. This is the way I wanted to be. Hey, I want to be a rebel. Hey, I want to be a rebel. Hey, I want to be a rebel. This is the way I wanted to be. Oh, yeah.
This is the way they wanted to be. So they want to be Iruekun. So they are the Iruekun recruits. So that was Igboho telling them that they should not misuse the privilege of being the member of the security outfit. They should not start using that to oppress people or to start snatching people's wives or to start causing nuisance and all that. Insecurity in Nigeria created that, right? So they are also talking about creating state police. So you have the Nigeria police, you have the civil defense, you have the Amotekun. No, where you are going to have a state police, Amotekun, Iruekun, and God knows others. Do you need Agono? Like, do you think you're going to need a different description of a failed state? Yeah. Mind you, there are places in northern part of Nigeria that remained ungoverned. Yeah, there are hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands, if not tens of millions of people trapped in those areas, controlled by different terrorists. Yeah, people are paying taxes to them. The evidence is everywhere. Nothing is even hidden. You get what I mean? So now, okay. So that one is that, right? So back to Lagos, where it is reported that between an Hausa Okada rider and a Yoruba passenger who had a clash simply because of misunderstanding about the change after a ride. Do you get what I mean? Like, you got tickets somewhere and then it was time for them to give you change. They didn't give you the accurate change. Your change was supposed to be 200 naira, but the rider won't give you 200 naira because no, your money is more than what you think it was. And then bang, before you know it, someone died. And it was one of those who tried to intervene when things went out of hand. This was in Lagos, so place called a caller or so, yeah, a caller in Yanopaja, right? Limosho local government area of Lagos State. 2 people died, if not more. Properties, of course, the shanties were all like destroyed. Other sustained injuries. This was in Lagos. So Africa Wahala. I'm not getting that message yet, right? But I'll come back to it. Let's go to Yanopaja.
Ayé wọn ti bàjẹ́ gan. Ẹ bá àwọn àbókí ṣe jẹ́ kí títì parẹ́ sẹ́. Àwọn àbókí. Wàhálà wọn ti ń yàbọ̀ o. Mo fẹ́ ṣe fídíò mi ò rí fídíò ṣe. Àwọn àbókí sẹ́. Ọmọ yẹn sọ̀gbò. Jésù. Kí ló sọ yẹn? Igbo. Iwájú ṣọ́ọ̀bù bàbá àbèjì lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Yé! Kí àwọn bàbá àbèjì máa ṣe báyìí? Ẹ wọ àwọn àbókí wọ́n yẹn sòkúta. Bọ́ọ̀lù lọ Abẹ́òkúta. Àwọn àbókí lé wọn pa sí ẹ̀wọ̀n láì àwọn àbókí yẹn. Owó ilé kù. Kí ló wá fàjà báyìí? Wàláì.
Ó ti set. Ó ti set yo. Àbókí Yorùbá o serious fight. Ọmọ. Sí, àbókí.
I'm on road, see buses now.
Now, moto. Police go shoot gun now and you go touch innocent people. You're not going to hear one. What the see?
Mo fẹ́ pè ṣe yìí ni. Mr. Dan, wọ́n ti múná lọ. Mo ti ṣí bẹ̀rẹ̀, mo ti ṣí. Wọ́n ti múná lọ, àwọn yóò dẹ̀ wà nílé. Kọ́sọ́mà wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò sí ìwọ̀n òkè ẹ̀ òkè tó dé kò sí ìwọ̀n òkè. People they fight, they pack full stop. They pack full stop. Eh, na bato ti sun gbogbo ọmọ ọlọ́mọ, ṣé kò ní jẹun ni? Eh?
Yeah, they burnt bikes, burnt what do you call it, some sheds and all that. While others are also looting, of course. Some were looting shops, as some shops were being razed, right? Something similar was also brewing between the Elijah people, the Elijah versus the Shekiris, because of their creek borders, in Ondo State. Okay, they share border with the Delta State, right? Warri, is that called the Delta North or something, local government area? Yeah, so they share border with the people of Elijah local government area of Ondo State. So they were fighting over borders. And if you have to fight over borders, like it's not like the same way you fight over borders between Abeokuta and Ilaro. Just saying. Or between Ijebu-Ode and Ekpe. Sort of. They had to fight on water. So they first started with protest and all that. And it's simply because of, I don't know, the demarcation or something of their river, which is, some I believe that the people of Ishekiri, they are trespassing. So Elijah warning them to stay off, or else it will become an escalated issue. So this was yesterday and this morning.
Para this situation into a state of scuffle or a state of violence where we will not be able to amend things. Because even after war, we'll still go for peace. Therefore, it is better to promote the existing peace. Even when the people has invaded us with arms, threatening the livelihood of our people, threatening our corporate existence, we have decided to resort to peace. All in the name of this peace, we have come to plead with the government of nation Nigeria. We have come to plead with the government of Ondo State. We have come to plead with Delta State government. We have come to plead with our Royal Majesties. Because this land has been built to no kingdom, the Anubo kingdom, from time immemorial. This land is Anubo land and it belongs to the Ugbo people under the paramount ruler of King Frederick Akiruta CFR, the Olubo of Ugbo kingdom. If you have any recourse to questions about the identity of the land and the originator of our ancestry, go to the palace, you hear from us. Now we have evidence and proofs. We have that historical data and we have political data that is a pointer to the fact of our ownership of this land. One, if you look at this side, you see the Osopade project. This project was built by a difference between the government of 1999 to 2003. We have the school here built by Agagu 2003 to 2007. And we have in fact this walkway was built by Mimiko 2007. So there have not been any time where Delta State government has intervened in any matter that concerns everyone Jumi, Maki, Okoro, Beku, Ilututu, Yori, and all of them, etc., etc. And what have you? It's our land. My grandfather was born here in 1924. His senior sister was born in 1920. They were born here in this land called Yorin. They were born at Yorin. My father was born there.
No.
Everywhere, wahala. I know. I have had people who have told me on Mayegun's Diary Political that as much as they enjoy kind of the updates that they get on this platform, but most of the time it's so stressful that when you really get soaked into following all these happenings, right, get to a point that you just feel so exhausted, like, man, what kind of a place is it? I saw some of you debating if that was Lagos or Abeokuta. It was Lagos, you know? And that's one thing I want to do when I go to Nigeria, all right? That's one thing I want to do. I want to bring to some of us here the real pictures, like the live images, okay, of the everyday of the people, if I have the chance. So, Lady Flora, thank you very much for that. I bet it's likely going to get returned back to you because the account is no longer in use. So please let me know if it eventually gets back returned to you, or returned back to you rather. Okay, so thank you. And yeah, thanks so much for that and for always. So the African Wahala, let's go back to your own comments so that, oh, okay, I think I got it now. You said you were referring to my lock, this one. That's right. But I stopped going to the salon, and somehow I've been told that it makes me look like I'm an old man. I'm like, well, that's fine. Me, you know. So thank you. And also, in addition, right, if you by any means want to really support Mayegun's, which I actually need, I have to say, all right. So if you are by any means touched that, okay, let me support Mayegun's diary, political, I would say, make use of that, buy me a coffee, or better still, the PayPal. That gets to me faster, all right. So thank you. Now, here is another one. Talking about, I was reading somewhere, okay, I should have probably had some comments, so all those guys there, right? So usually when things are like that, we would expect the authority to wade in. But most of the time, there's always this political prejudice, political biases and all that, that some of those people who are supposed to put all of this in order, some of them will rather even complicate it to their own advantage, so to say. So it is never done. But yeah, that was between the Elijahs and the Shekiris. However, the local government chairman for the two local government areas, one from Ondo State and the other from Delta, also addressed the protesters.
Out of proportion. So I'm appealing to every one of you to calm down, to maintain peace, law, and order. For my Shekiri's brother, Shekiri de Demukiao, I am a Fuge, Mokiao, Shekiri, Mope, Mutoshi, Ushikore, Ulaje, so no need, no need bacha. Then I Sharok, I go for a go work. Then I mash Turkey and my tejo. So what the maintain peace, law and order. That much people my brothers Elijah, Mubega, and Joe, I must say, Agboloka, I must say problem. What is said. So, Jide Wajama panic. Just stay calm. And please, I want everybody to stay calm.
When this crisis happened, he had a woman as a result of stamping. The woman died. And as we speak now, because of that woman, I want to trace the cause. Because it's an Elijah woman, I want to trace the cause. We can't leave the corpse here. We want to trace the cause. It's the corpse. I don't even know where the cause is. That's where the cause is. So there is every need to inform people that, but apart from that one, nothing. And he said the second place, I want to get look at it.
So it's like the area is apparently part of Ondo State. However, the other ones from the Shekiri sharing the border felt like no, there's some little bit of part of the land that belongs to them. And that's what has been causing that friction. Well, I was reading somewhere, I think it was yesterday or this morning, I'm not sure, but I remember very well because somebody made a comment and said, man, Nigerian politicians are the luckiest politicians on earth. And I remember us kind of like saying that on Mayegun's Diary Political for years now. You know, like they get away with a lot. There's no consequences for most of their actions because the system tolerated that and still tolerates every of their, you know, criminality, so to say. Because come to think of it, in Ebonyi State, where Devulumaye comes from, and he succeeded in planting his own stooges in different elective positions, from governor to senators to this, that. But it's this guy. I mean, if you remember the Natasha versus Akpabiole matter, the harassment and all that. So this guy who was the spokesperson for Akpabiole. He's also a senator, was supposed to be Akpabiole's colleague, but he was there and he took this Natasha's fight, more like it was his. He was the one who accused Natasha of having married severally, and why was she deployed? You know that stuff, right? His name is Uwainboy. He is one of the Devulumaye's boys. Now that everybody is trying to gear up for 2027, so it was caught on video where he was speaking to people of another community from this community. And what separated them was this gully, supposed the river, that's a 100-yard, probably 50-yard bridge will make it easy for people to cross over. But it was over here. They've been in government since 2015, right? So it was here. And I was talking to those who were over there and telling them that they will vote for APC. So when they vote for APC, they will come and do the bridge for them. They should not vote for another person, it must be APC. And I'm like, he did that and he walked away safely. Come on. They get confidence, so you know what I mean?
Onye ha party ọzọ ọbata ikpokpo ya iwe ogo oshibọ kpọrọ isi asị ati arụ ọrụ bụ APC mọsọ ọdụnụ bụ APC onwe n'obi anọ sara bụ apụga onwe n'isara bụ PDP n'ọba nga shiri nche ati anyị nwere bụ sọsọ APC ekele mụ nọ ndị be anyị ebụra na-ekpekpere ya aka apụga keminita ahụle ngele a mmọkeminita ahụle mmọkemin ịlụ ahụle ngele a anyị ejido ọrụ aka ekele mụ nọ ndị be
APC kagezo. APC kagezo. A senator, somebody who has been a senator representing the area for I think he's on his second time or third. No, it must be second year, mentored by Devulumaye himself. He had that confidence to go there and say, well, if you must vote for APC, who are you going to vote for? APC. If you want this bridge to be done, I mean, what can I say? his boss, Devolumai, who has been theatrical with his performance in the last few days, right? He probably slept in Benin yesterday, or day before yesterday and yesterday. So he went on to go and check a place called the Sapele, Benin Sapele or something road. And he went on as well to the overhead bridge, the Onitsha bridge. At a point, he was fuming because according to him, he can't wait to lay his hands on the contractor that collected 14 billion naira for 11 kilometers of road. That person was supposed to construct a road which is 11 kilometers that would then lead to the overhead bridge, the first Niger bridge. I have a lot of questions, though, sure you get, but I'll probably want you to see this first. This was him inspecting the first Niger bridge. Hello, I thought they've already diverted traffic to the second Niger bridge, the one that Bokwari downgraded towards the finally built there. So what's going on? They've opened the bridge years ago. They said it's completed. I said it wasn't completed. But Tinubu has been in government for 3 years. So what happened to that part of this second Niger bridge? Now the old one is shaking. The reason why they constructed the second one, by the way, is still happening. Here was Devolumai at the same time.
Where is it?
So you still create a small gap. You understand? You know, why we look for the but if somebody comes here, the person is gone. If a small this thing comes here, the person is gone. But in the meantime, can we take something and the barriers? Let's take something. Okay?
Somebody said that Umahi was there, that like Abalis that is making the incantation, right? Possibly he was, because did you hear him where he was describing what could be done? They should wet something here that will just match it to this one here, and professor in practice. So like I said, I've got questions. Those of you who have been traveling to the eastern part of Nigeria or from the eastern part of Nigeria, Onitsha, overhead bridge, those of you who have been traveling to and fro, please enlighten me. Are you still using the old bridge? Because the new one is not far from it. Or they've shut down the new one that Bokwari claimed to have completed. Because I don't understand. Like there shouldn't be any traffic on the old bridge anymore. To the point that people are still actually using this traffic. Like, so please enlighten me. Oh, they were supposed to probably demolish the old one as well, since you have the new one. Second Niger bridge. You all know the noise about Second Niger Bridge now. Huh? A bridge designed by Goodluck Jonathan, right? And it was meant to be a 10-lane bridge, 5 here, 5 there. And underneath the bridge, there's this train track, which means if you have a train that is coming straight from the western part of Nigeria through the Niger Delta partly, and then straight into the heartland of Igbo land, and from there straight down to the Creek of Bayelsa. That's what they told us. So Obukwari came back and they turned it to 4 lanes, or 6, 4, 2, 2. And they removed anything that has got to do with bridge. It was supposed to be of a certain centimeters, which will allow cargo ships to pass underneath it. But no, they reduced the height to what is just basically like just normal bridge. Yeah. Yet it's been under construction for years. So I don't expect people to still be risking their lives on the old one that is already like lost their shape or lost their grip. Well, Devulumai might have an answer, because according to him, they awarded 11-kilometer road between Delta and Dato Nichao. So it was like 11-kilometer road that will lead to the bridge. I don't know which bridge, maybe Second Niger Bridge, right? So will lead to the bridge. 14 billion naira. That's how much they awarded it, or how much they've paid. And that's $10 million. You know that. But Devulumai is now upset and saying he's looking for that person. Are you all right? Why would you be looking for somebody that collected $10 million and they couldn't do the 11-kilometer road? Like I said, one of their, theater, the theatrical kind of show off of Devulumai, because somehow believes that Nigerians are dumb, even if they are not. Watch this.
Heartland. And then we paid them. I think we paid them up to 14 billion. And when I paid them that money, we reached an agreement. We are going to finish 11 kilometers from the Summit Junction to this end bridge with the money I'm paying you, and then do channelization, hydraulic structure. That's what we agreed. But today, they have just done about 40% of agreement. And so, I recalled the MD to discuss with him for them to come back to site. I am going to look for him to arrest him. I'm going to arrest him. So the controller, you look for the MD of Heartland, arrest him, so that, and I want Engineer Musa to tell the directors C&R to call up the APG immediately. You have to write to the banks to pay us that money. And this is what we are going to look at, the kind of mess we are having. Even to do small filling on the road, that is wickedness. It's wickedness. Engineer Musa, you have to do something about, immediately by tomorrow morning, they have to fill this, this end bridge, okay, both of them. Okay, yes. And then we have to scope the right-hand side, maybe about 1 kilometer. Look at the kind of traffic jam in this location because of the wickedness of our contractors. And they have to bring down all their payments and all the certificates. You have to do this instruction and send to me. This is very important. Every of their certificates in all the jobs, and we are going to sanction Heartland. This is not acceptable. But we will do something. We'll do something. The controller of Anambra, I think you are very proactive, and I can see you're good. Delta controller, you're also very good. But let me, give a sound of warning to all our controllers. If a project is going on, whether there is payment or not, you cannot allow the situation of the road to be like this. It's your responsibility to at least insist for stone base to be used to fill these places. I don't want to see this kind of embarrassment again. There are places that, you know, even 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 can fix and lessen the suffering of the people. We inherited, you know, terrible, you know, roads that in the entire country you wouldn't see any place that didn't have a problem. But the president is doing his best. The president is trying. Before, nobody passes this Summit Junction to the air bridge. And when we ran to the president, he released money immediately. Road and the bridges they are not the only problems of this country. So when we are able to give out more, then we should be able to manage it with contractors to ensure that the problems of the people are lessened. This is very important. Let me also give you an order. If you see anybody that is doing dredging, I don't want to know who the person is. You have to cause an arrest immediately. It's when you have arrested, then you tell me. Okay? When you see a contractor that is on a road and a section is not passable, you do an arrest. When you arrest, you let me know. Okay. You know, enough is enough. Okay? And TCCCC, they have done clearing, you know, in this, bypass 2A. And they have passed through people's homes. Yes, we know we have not paid them, and we are going to pay them. But it's in their own interest to at least put drainages to protect people's homes against erosion. If anybody complains of erosion in his house, I will hold them squarely responsible. In fact, I will arrest them. So let them immediately put the drainages on two sides of the road to control destruction of people's houses. And I thank the governor of Delta State very seriously. He paid the billions and billions for compensation on this 2A, section. I thank him. It shows the love for his people. It shows commitment. It shows that he has placed the welfare of the people, because he knows that if we allow traffic, within their subaxis, then his economy will collapse. So he's a very wise, governor. I commend him very well. Commissioner for Works, thank him for me. Thank him for me. So thank you very much. That's just a thank you, Director.
Umai, I mean, come to think of it too, even though there's so much drama around him and all that, right? But it kind of like appears to be working. You get what I mean? Like he's everywhere. I mean, you can get to see him, not like in Abuja, where he's having this meeting here and there. No, he's always almost everywhere. Yeah. It's just that when those who hated and helped Tinubu to milk Nigeria, when they are being hunted, he's likely going to be on the run too. But if he's smart enough, if he's fast enough, he'll be on the run. If not, it will be like a Mefiole. Yeah. But anyway, that was Umai. Meanwhile, going forward in that same delta, okay, there was this road construction going on that the people of this community were like, see what they are doing to us, politicians.
Yeah, Ajede, Ogboki. Really funky Ajede. See road when they do. They do road for 1 week. You know reach 1 month, the road spoil again. Now I say you want to do road again. See what they do. They deceive themselves. Not be we that they deceive. So, they pour canal for me put aside road. Say that they tie road. I swear. So they talk canal for me put aside road.
Oh, you will go for granted. If
not be quota now. Canal for me they talk put on the road. Really funky Ajede.
Before you want,
we.
They put they spoil tires sometimes. If you go climb down, they burn and go metal.
You don't talk grass now. That they kill the grass. Obiaruko, funny community.
Since I was born here, I never see something like this.
I swear, I never see they do road like this. Federal road now that they use bricklayer until they call do road. They do first one with bricklayer, it not work. Now they come again and they call the spray. Can you permit say that they spray quota? Sea road.
Since I was born, I never seen something like this in my life.
Sea road. Jordan are feeling funky. Zombie now you be. You never say anything.
Lately, people can't even go there and arrest them. Because that was supposed to be your own taxpayers' money. And the politicians are going to use the Photoshop AI or something to declare that road completed. And that's also like an oil-producing state, by the way, Delta State. We're supposed to be very rich. You're supposed to be seeing the standard sort of like infrastructure in that place that people will be like, ah, man, see oil money. See what oil money is doing, you know? But no, everywhere just looks so same. Like they just came out of war. Everywhere is dusty, dirty, you know? But people live through that. Fortunately, just like those who are living through the real terrorism, the APC has managed to now normalize, okay? Some people who saw the movement of terrorists in Sokoto captured this, and they said over 400 terrorists on bikes passed through their community. I was like, no, it was actually the terrorists that recorded. One of them recorded this, their movement. They've got radio, like unlike your security forces too. Okay, they're just transiting, and yeah, we're transiting. So that was in Sokoto, talking about transiting. Some youth corpers and others who were traveling from Bayelsa State to the northern part of Nigeria, they were attacked somewhere in Kogi, and a number of them have been abducted. Those who escaped, they were found by the vigilantes, sort of, those who kind of responded to after the attacks, but they have taken some people into the forest already, including some of these traveling youth corpers. Watch this.
Kidnapping just drive at 1 minute, a lot more. Nothing they happen to us. If you drop us, they go safe. Nothing they happen. This kidnapping just happened now. This kidnapping just happened now.
My dear alcohol.
Okay, come on for the first. Don't come. Come on, come on. Come on for the first. And the people were safe from the kidnapping. The people were escape. People were escaping this. And the people were escaping this. Go man, take the woman. Let's see they shoot that man. This woman, go see her. Madam, calm down. When I take him easy. When I God don't save you now, make I take him easy. When I take him easy. Okay, come, make them rush you go hospital. Come. Now I come in and take him easy. God don't save you now. Come, make them carry your go hospital. Now we just want to save you. Now I come to the front. You are safe now. Sorry. Now shoot have been a wound. Sorry. I can't sit down on this bike when they rush you go hospital now. I beg. Oh yeah. Sorry. Madam, God don't save you with your children. When I calm down. Thank you, sir. Choosing, God don't save you. God don't save you. Sorry, my boy. Sorry. God has saved you.
People, they carry people for Namoto.
All of them.
All of them. How na do when they do this thing? Make una dey go. Turn, Aloma Hospital. Oh, go Aloma Hospital. This one no be hospital. No, go Aloma Hospital. No, Oga, say relax. Sit down. Let's go to the hospital.
Sit down now.
I'm going to tell you. Okay now. Now the motor be this. Okay? Just relax. I'm going to carry this man go hospital first. Just find one house park. Yeah, but I don't call police. I don't call them. They come. Just go rest. Okay? Sit down. No worry. Oh yeah, carry on. Do local Aloma. Carry on. Go Aloma. Okay? Magbe permission no tak ma de jutong.
Trauma to pass this.
Oga, God has saved you. Just relax. Madalo.
So what you got in mind now?
Madalo, it's not a competent hospital. I want to take you to a general hospital where they can treat you very well. Don't you understand? They need permit to treat you. Okay, we just want to help you.
I mean, he's shaking. They took some people, they shot him on his arm, and then they told them to go. You, go. Right? And they took others. He's shaking. Even though they are offering him help. Want to take it to the hospital, he's uncertain. Like, sit down on the bike, let them take it to the hospital and all that. But then another lady was actually on social media crying because one of the youth couples kidnapped happened to be her sister. And she's there, like many other videos we have seen in the past, where people are always like calling on Nigerians, the government, please do something, please say, rescue my mom, please rescue my sister, please bring all these people back. And we mostly never get to hear the end of it. It's either they paid the ransom, they got their people back, or they paid the ransom, they didn't get their people back. It's never anything so like positive at the end of it all. Or the trauma, that's another thing. And that's why they say, well, if you wish anything on your worst enemies, probably should never wish they get kidnapped by those murderous terrorists in Nigeria. There's no consequence. There's nobody looking for them. You know? Which is a shame. So here, somebody was asking question about, I mean, we're talking about subsidy earlier. Some people produce the crude oil in Nigeria. They never really benefit from it. I just shared with you the video of a road construction in Delta State, an oil-producing state, Abi. So what happened to Zamfara Gold? Somebody asked Shore, and then his answer. Typical.
Sir, my question is, with the abundant natural resources in states like Zamfara, I'm from the north, I'm from Kano. Firstly, thank you. I saw what you did for Mariam when Abba Hikima contacted you. You've done a very, very good job to Mariam and the likes of her. With states like Zamfara, with abundant natural resources, particularly gold, whereby most of the northern politicians, or I say the Nigerian politicians, are getting chunk of money from there. What will you do if God, in his own wisdom, make you the president of Nigeria? How can the Nigerian populace enjoy that gold? And how can you make the environmental impacts of the mining be better than what it is now? Thank you.
Quick question I want to ask you is, do they know Shore and Zamfara, where you come from?
No, I'm from Kano.
Do you know Shore and Kano?
Yes, sir.
So that question is answered, the man at the back. The spread is there already. So the problem with resource in Nigeria is the cost that comes with resource. But in reality, there's no cost that comes with resource. It's the men who are mining and selling and profiting from resource. That's exactly the men and women that are the cost. The problem with gold in Zamfara is that some persons, which you and I know, who were senior military officers now retired, are the ones who are mining the gold. In addition to their friends from China, and now I'm aware the US wants to lay their hands on it. because gold in the US is not referred to as gold anymore. They call it rare earth minerals, and it includes lithium, anywhere, anything that brings money. So anybody who wants to resolve the problem must be someone who have the courage to confront them. The same way you confront the thieves in Niger Delta region who are stealing oil. Anywhere there's resource in Nigeria, there's a thief, and a big and powerful thief. And they also have international backers. Because one of the things we found out about Zamfara is that every day, and I'm telling you this, you can go find out, there's a flight that goes out of Zamfara in the mining sector, or the mining fields there, that is not tracked. I'm talking about airplanes that go in there to pick. They have airfields or airstrips in Zamfara where they land every day. Sometimes they track as many as 7 of these flights a week, and they are going in there to pick gold. Some of the richest people are from that part of the country today. In fact, I can disclose here, because I'm never afraid to say, the DG to the president, the outgoing president, Tinubu, is one of the richest people in Nigeria today, based on some of these activities we are talking about. So, you need a leader, first, who understands who they are and how to confront them, and who can take the resource that they have, somehow personalized to themselves and give it to the people. But you have mentioned a very important aspect of it, which is the environment and what they are doing, the harm they are doing to the environment. One of the things I want to tell you is that in the future, we're also going to be navigating away from just digging the eggs under us consistently, when actually there's an opportunity to transition to green energy, a green era that doesn't depend on rare earth minerals alone, but minerals that have the capability to rejuvenate the earth that we now live on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, John. He's not wrong. So the guy who was their former governor is a senator now. I think his name is Yari. Okay, he is so rich. The guy paid cash, 1 trillion naira cash, to buy Geregu power plants from Otedola. I think Otedola bought the plants for 400 or 500 million or so. This guy bought it from him cash. He's a former governor and the current senator. He's been fingered in the issue of the insecurity, insurgency, terrorism, especially in Zamfara, the spread of it. He's been fingered many times, but he's never been questioned, or better still, investigated. So today, he is the Tinubu's campaign DG for second term. And like I said, he's got so much money. People believe this money is coming from what they are making from the illegal mining, not just in Zamfara, probably in other parts of Nigeria. And there are many like that. So as a president, if you have that kind of information, you don't really have to go into confiscating what they are taking. You confiscate them, you actually get you get them locked up. Yeah. But they said that in a kingdom where a criminal becomes king, every criminal in that kingdom automatically becomes the member of the royal family. That is what you are experiencing in that Nigeria now. I mean, it's a shame, isn't it? Here is what somebody had to say about the sudden kind of like awakening that Tinubu's regime seems to be showing as we speak. You know what I mean? They are now interested in reducing the cost of transportation, which they are actually not interested in reducing any cost of transportation. Their own style of reducing, for example, their own style of reducing hunger is to share food, is to share rice to people. And then their own idea of funding education after collecting 2% from all these companies. That is profit before tax that these companies pay to Nigeria. Your education should actually be free from primary school to university level. But the criminal decided to remove the education subsidy and then started borrowing you money, a loan. Okay, so what exactly would an average Nigerian say they have benefited from the subsidy removal? That's a question that a lot of people can't answer. Or maybe they can, and it's just going to be nothing. Listen to this.
Why is this coming now in this electioneering season? On the 29th of May, 2023, we heard the announcement, subsidy is gone. It was followed by the floating of the naira that took us to an inflation, a degree of inflation that we had never seen before, 300 to 400%, everything. Now, as subsidy went, so did the price of everything went skyrocketed, and people became poor to a degree we had never seen. In recent times, the president did say that there was hunger before he was born, which for me was a very unfortunate statement because I am going towards my 69th birthday. And the kind of poverty we have seen in this country in the last 3.5 years, never saw it when I was born. Never saw it when I was born. Never saw adult men begging on the road for food. Never saw this number of people. Actually, in the environment where I grew up, I never saw people begging for food. Basic food. So I never saw in my own environment this kind of poverty. So it's unfortunate to say poverty, hunger has always been in the land. The policies, we have ended up where we have ended up because of policies that are not well thought out. You put the cart before the horse. Because how do you remove subsidy? You had how many months? Almost 3 months between the election and the swearing in. That was long enough time to plan. And if you are going to remove subsidy, you should have known that there will be consequences. This kind of project should have come immediately on May 30th after removing subsidy on May 29th. 2023. Now it is coming in 2026. 7 months, 7 months to the elections. For me, it's a lot of hype, but I really wonder how much benefit it will bring to the Nigerian people. By the way, what you are talking about, Charles, is 1.4 trillion naira, right? 1.4 trillion naira. But we went ahead and awarded a contract, 15 trillion naira worth of contract for coastal highway.
Lagos-Calabar coastal
Lagos-Calabar highway. So how we, Nigeria that has the money to award 15 trillion Lagos-Calabar highway, we are talking of 1.4 trillion as is going to transform Nigeria, and it's going to transform the 130 terribly poor Nigerians to what do they call it, poverty graduation. I don't see that happening because I tried to do the arithmetic immediately. Say, look, if you have 130 very poor Nigerians, 1.4 trillion will give them 10,700 naira. Now, what can 10,700 naira do? And we have not even asked the basic question, the fundamental question. Based on what data? Nigeria has not had census exercise, for all I know, since about 20 years. So the truth is that we really don't know how many we are. We are only using estimates. We don't know how many we are. And I'm saying in the context of a population that is estimated to be 230 million with terribly poor people, multidimensionally poor people being estimated to be up to 130 million. We are talking of 1.4 trillion as that magic amount that is going to transform the people. I see that it's a bit of a joke. In spite of the hype that happened yesterday at Aso Villa, I think it's a bit of a joke. And when you think of the programs that have happened in the past, with a lot of the people who are the ministers and directors of those facing EFCC and ICPC for corruption, a lot of that money did not get to the poor. So what?
They never got to the poor. Because Tinubu and his gang, they have their plan, they have their targets, and they are following it, which is to make themselves as rich as possible. And yeah, they're friends. So for the rest of you, you just have to wait. Common sense, so I never even thought it that way, right? Nigeria had no money to pay subsidy that ordinarily could have helped them to manage inflation in that regard. A poor country. Kolu and his gang were planning on how to tax poor people. How do you tax poverty? In a way, and you want to help them out of poverty. But in that same breath, you are taking loans, ridiculous loans with ridiculous conditions, which also included the devaluation of Nigerian naira, which happened so rapidly, right? Destroyed everything, destroyed businesses, destroyed lives, families, and all that too, for real. Only for you to now probably think, oh, maybe we should just reduce the price of transportation. In Nigeria, the public transport is not really public transport because most of these transport companies are owned by private businesses, private individuals, and the rest. Sure you get. So when it comes to mass transit, most of these ideas are flopped, like Tinubu's idea of a CNG buses. They had some in Kaduna. I think they had some in, where again? I think Imo or so. I'm not sure. But they were talking about them in Kaduna out of 36 states. Okay? So they saved money from subsidy. If they didn't, Nigeria would have become so broke. But Nigeria is broke. Nigeria is using nearly 90% of our revenue to service debt. Nigeria, under Tinubu, they are expected to make more money from taxes. They are making less and less and less, which means they are now resorting to borrowing, okay, on the side. But since the naira is already so devalued in a way, right, it could just hang it on. Hey, look at how much I'm paying for minimum wage. Look at how much I'm giving to your state. But the moment you factor in the inflation, the devaluation, and all the shans that comes with all of this, including the corruption, then you realize that this is called voodoo economy. And the only people that it's working for is Kolu and his gang. For the citizens, they are just like hungry animals. Look at what happened on the Agbo Road in Delta State after a truck that was kind of like carrying Jews crashed and then got robbed.
See that this man go carry bag for you. You go carry bag for you. See pressure.
Upon say person die for inside. They get mind though.
So carry big bag. Wow.
They don't get conscience. Like. See.
They were not there to help. It's crazy, right? This is Nigeria where you may get involved in an accident while some people are trying to help you. You will still see some criminally minded crooks, right? they will be working to rob you. Yeah, they'll be stealing his phone, stealing any valuable, anything they can steal, while others are trying to get you to safety or probably help. It's crazy, right? So the other day, a lawmaker in Nasarawa lamented on the level of corruption or diversion when he bought some beds, medical beds for these health centers in his constituency. Okay, so he bought beds, bought them standing fans, ceiling fans, and some other materials, and supplied the health center. So he went back there a few months later, and he couldn't find any of them. So he raised the alarm. They were giving him some excuses, and it was like, these things were supposed to be here. To prove that he didn't steal it, although he didn't see them at the clinic or the health center, to prove that he didn't steal it, or maybe they got them back from where they probably put them. So they shared a video to say, here are the equipment, so it was not stolen. I think I'm having a bit of a headache. So I'm going to round it up now, okay? And mind you, just a quick reminder, right? It is not Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road. It is called Bola Tinubu Coastal Road, just so you know. And they've only done less than 100 kilometers of that, by the way. Far less than 100 kilometers. But once you come out of the part they have done in Lagos, you get to see this signage. Those of you who probably travel the parts at night, going to VI and all that, right?
This is the entrance to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I don't know what is Coastal Highway. So that's Victoria Island over there, and this is the entrance to the Coastal Road. This is the entrance to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I don't know what is Coastal Highway. So that's Victoria Island over there, and this is the entrance.
So you need to update your current affairs, okay? So thanks so much, everyone, for your time. I'm going to see you another time, but please remember, okay, like, share the broadcasts, and kindly check your notification as well, and make sure that your notification is set on all upload, okay? Go and click on it, check it, and then you probably won't miss any of my set upload. So thank you. And to everyone else, we should meet again another time. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.